That was the first game in Jared Goff's career that he ever won without Sean McVay as his head coach. First one, he finally got a win. Whether it was Jeff Fisher or John Fossil as the interim coach in 2016, or now this year Dan Campbell gets the win without Sean McVay as his head coach. And, you know, it was exciting, and they blew the 20-6 lead. And then they had the opportunity. The Vikings left too much time on the clock, and the Vikings were in a tough spot because there was only so much time they could take off the clock given where they got the ball after a failed fourth down effort by the Lions. You can't just choose to carve up tiny little pieces of turf. You score the touchdown, you just trust your defense is going to get it done, Mike. But what a pathetic defensive performance by the Vikings on that final drive.
Well, the last thing, and we've talked about this more than a few times, Mike, about, oh, God, don't give the other team time. One of the last teams you think about giving time and being worried is Detroit, right? I mean, how many times you're like, well, you can't give Jared Goff and that offense much time or they're going to tear you up. I mean, that really isn't going, I don't even think it's going through fans' mind. Well, they left us a lot of time on the clock. Now they're going to pay for it. But Mike, I was trying so hard because I don't want to see a team go winless. I was trying so hard to justify going for it on 4th and 1 at your own, 21-yard line, whatever it was. I was trying to say, yeah, okay, we're trying to get the win so bad. We're just trying to hang on to the ball. We need to do this. Hang on to the ball. We can win this game and not give up the lead. It's just 1 yard. I was trying. And there's part of me that still doesn't have, I'm not like 100-0 against it. But, you know, you have to think, man, just punt that ball away. Punt that ball away and see what your defense can do. Again, you know, where you were in the game. And he got bailed out. Certainly, obviously, had to talk about what he was doing there. But he got bailed out. What a drive. What a throw. What a catch. And what an awful defense, Minnesota. I mean, what the hell were they doing? You're standing in the end zone. You're literally standing in the end zone, letting a route go to the end zone, and a guy curl up in the end zone. I was stunned watching that defense that he had the room he had.
But, you know, as it relates to the decision to go for it on 4th and 1 from your own 28, somewhere in the nooks and crannies of the pieces of the formula that is used to determine the analytics process, when you give the ball back with 4 minutes left and the opposing team is only 19 yards away from pay dirt, chances are you're going to have time. Whether it's a situation where the field goal is kicked and you're behind, or the touchdown is scored and you're behind, you're going to have time, and they made it work. And the Vikings defense played right into it. They weren't aggressive. They didn't get after Jared Goff. And then on that last play, I spoke to Amon-Ra St. Brown after the game. He said, look, this is a simple concept that's been in the playbook since training camp, and my job was to get to the goal line because if I get tackled at the 1 or the 2, it's over. We're out of time. We didn't have to worry about getting tackled at the 1 or the 2, Mike, because nobody was there. He said, I looked up and I was shocked that they were as deep as they were in the end zone, and I thought this is going to work out just perfectly, and it did. Because I don't know what you're. Hey, you got the. Hey, I don't know. I don't know what you're thinking there.
I have zero idea, Mike. Zero. Maybe they're thinking he's going to run a corner route and they're going to fade it up there. I don't know. But you certainly, sure as hell, can't take the chance and just drift back. I mean, the 2 guys by him are 3 and 5 yards deep into the end zone, and all he has to do is get to the goal line. It blows my mind. Cover the back 10. You know, make sure you have the goal line covered and worry about the back part of the end zone, the rest of the end zone, if the ball goes up in the air. I could believe him being stunned. He'd have to think, this isn't right. I'm going to hook up here in the end zone, and there's nobody near me. I just watched that replay and can't believe what I saw. Cannot believe what I saw. And you saw Dantzler, and they just kind of looked at each other like, wow. Almost like they can't believe it happened either. That was stunningly bad defense.
I mean, why are you guarding the corner of the end zone? It's not Herman Moore or or Calvin Johnson that you have to worry about some fade route. It's a rookie. And look, he made the catch. Amon-Ra St. Brown, it seems like a really good kid, and I'm rooting for him now. But, I mean, don't let him get to the front of the end zone and get the ball and win the game. And when your head coach is a defensive specialist, and when your head coach has a history of 1 year to the playoffs, 1 year no playoffs, 1 year to the playoffs, and there's just kind of this funk where you never bust through. And now they're looking at 2 straight years of no playoffs and all that money they spent on Kirk Cousins. And I know the offense isn't as great as it could be, but when you're a defensive specialist and you let the Lions drive down the field and you let them score that touchdown where you've backed off of the goal line, you're going to hear it. And I know Mike Zimmer's feisty enough that he's going to be mad because he's getting criticized and, and we're going to, and how dare you point out that we stunk. They've backed themselves into a corner now. And they got the Steelers on Thursday night. They may not have Adam Thielen for that game. He's got a high ankle sprain, so probably going to be out for a while. He exited early yesterday. Then they have the Bears on a Monday night. They got the Rams and the Packers after that, and they're 5-7. And it's their own damn fault. They beat the Packers 2 weeks ago to get to 5-5. Not that the game in San Francisco was easy, but they were in it. They could have won that one, and they should have won the one yesterday. And any criticism Mike Zimmer gets at this point, he deserves. And I suspect at some point today, someone with the last name of Wilf is going to request a conference call, because they're in New Jersey, conference call with Mike Zimmer so he can explain to them what in the hell he was thinking with the defense that he put out on the field on the last play of the game.
But I guess if we look at this, Mike, this is Minnesota, right? Some good, some bad. I mean, they're a head-scratching team. They have all this offense in the world. I know Thielen goes out, though, and that obviously hurts him. He goes out early in that game, doesn't come back, as you mentioned, with the ankle. But I just think that's this team. At the end of the day, they can't be trusted, right? I think that might be the line, that they can't really be trusted to make the play consistently when they need to do it. And they find themselves in this position now, losing to a team that hadn't won. Now, again, I don't think the Lions were going the whole way without winning. They were in games. They've been playing hard. They've been close to wins before, including that overtime game with Pittsburgh where the ball in the air to win it. So they weren't going winless, and I think they'll win again. But still, I think this is more to the Minnesota side of it, of them just being such a wildly inconsistent team that is going to put them right around that 500 record if they can even get there.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.